Welcome to Embracing Love. Let's begin with a meditation so we can close our eyes, start to settle into our seats, feel our feet connecting us to the ground, feel our hips connecting us to our seat, feel our shoulders over the hips, feel our heads over our shoulders. Let's take a deep, full inhale, breathing in, feeling the ribs expand. And as you exhale, start to relax and unwind from the day. Do that another time, taking a deep, full inhale. And the exhale, letting go of the day, unplugging from the frantic pace of life. Letting go of your worries, your stresses. Now let's bring our attention to the top of our heads, crown, the point at the top of our heads, and imagine a calming, relaxing feeling starting there at the top of the head, starting to spread out along the top of the head, relaxing the top of your head, and feel this nice, calm, soothing sensation spreads down around the curve of your skull to your forehead, temples, the sides of your head, the back of your head. And imagine this relaxation continuing to spread down your head to your eyebrows, spot in between your eyebrows, your eyes, your eyelids, your nose, your cheeks, your ears, back of your head, your mouth, your lips, your teeth, your tongue, jaw. Maybe it feels good to scrunch up your face for a moment and then allow it to relax, letting all the tension drain out of your face. Maybe it feels good to wiggle your jaw back and forth a few times, letting go of any tension in your jaw, letting all stress, all tightness leave your face, leave your head, feeling your head completely relaxed. And imagine this relaxation spreading down into the neck, sides of your neck, the back of your neck, throat. If there's any tightness or tension in the neck, imagine those muscles unwinding. Maybe you tilt your head to one side, stretch the neck, then tilt to the other side. Coming back to center. Imagining all tightness, all tension in those neck muscles, releasing and unwinding. And imagine this calming, relaxing feeling spreading down into your shoulders, tops of the shoulders, shoulder blades, collarbones, sides of your shoulders. Maybe you roll your shoulders up to your ears and down and back, letting them be soft and relaxed. Feeling this relaxation starting to spread down into your arms, through your armpits, into the upper arms, bicep muscles, tricep muscles, the inner arm, the outer arm, the bone in between. Feels good. You can squeeze those upper arm muscles for a moment and then allow them to relax. Allowing the upper arms to completely relax. And feeling this relaxation spreading down into the elbows, crease at the front of the elbows, sides of the elbows, bony point at the back. Feeling the elbows totally relaxed. Now imagining that relaxation moving down into the lower arms, all those forearm muscles, tender inner arm, the outer arm, bones in between. Maybe it feels good to squeeze those forearm muscles and then let them relax. Feeling the forearms completely relaxed. And feeling this relaxation now moving into the wrists, the inside of the wrists, the back of the wrists, the sides of the wrists. Feeling your wrists completely relaxed. And feeling this relaxation moving into the palms, the hands, back of the hands, the thumbs, knuckles, fingers. Maybe for a moment you move your wiggle your fingers, connecting with each individual finger, and then allowing the hands to be still, allowing the hands to completely relax. And let's bring our awareness back up to the chest, feeling this relaxation starting in the chest. The rib cage, back of the rib cage, the sternum, sides of the ribs, spine in between. Also the internal organs, your lungs, your heart, your stomach, feeling your entire torso relax. And feeling this calming relaxation spreading down to the abdomen, through the lower ribs, into the upper abdomen, the sides of the abdomen, lower back, the lumbar spine, abdominal muscles. Maybe you clench those abdominal muscles for a moment and allow them to relax. Also allowing the internal organs to relax, the intestine, liver, kidneys. Any tightness in the stomach, in the abdomen, allowing everything to relax. Any tension, allowing it to dissolve and relax. And feeling this relaxation as it moves down into the pelvis. Feeling pelvic bone, hips, crease at the front of the hips, the sides of the hips, back of the hips, glute muscles. Maybe you flex those glute muscles for a moment and allow them to relax. Letting your hips settle in and fully relax. And then let's imagine this calming, relaxing feeling moving into the upper legs, those big quadricep muscles, hamstring muscle on the bottom, big femur bone in the middle, the inner thigh, the outer thigh. It might feel good to clench those big upper leg muscles for a moment and allow them to completely relax. Feeling this relaxation moving into the knees now, the kneecap, sides of the knees, the crease at the back of the knees. Maybe you notice Maybe you can feel fabric bunched up behind your knee, allowing the knees to completely relax. And then now we're feeling this relaxation in the lower legs, shin bone, calf muscles, the inner leg, the outer leg. Perhaps you'd like to flex those lower leg muscles for a moment and allow them to relax. And then we can feel this relaxation working on the ankles, front of the ankles, the sides of the ankles, the back, Achilles tendon. Allowing your ankles to totally relax. And we can imagine this relaxation moving into the feet, tops of the feet, arches of the feet, heels, balls of the feet, the bottoms of the feet, toes. Maybe it feels good to wiggle the toes and bringing your awareness to each individual toe, and then allow them to be still, allowing the feet to completely relax. Now let's take another deep, full inhale, feeling the ribs expand, feeling the belly expand. As you exhale, imagine a wave of relaxation washing down your entire body, from the crown of your head down through the torso, through your legs, through your feet, washing away all stress and tension. Let's do that again, inhaling fully. As you exhale, feel that relaxation cascading down your body, washing away all tension, tightness, all worries. Let them all wash down out of your body into the ground. Let's do that one final time, inhaling fully. As you exhale, relaxing completely. Anything that doesn't serve you, all negative energy, let it all just wash down out of your body into the earth. Now, as we sit here for a few minutes in relaxation, you can either sit in stillness or you can focus on your breath. Maybe counting your inhales as you count to 5 slowly. And maybe counting your exhales, counting to 5 slowly, so that you're breathing in a nice, slow, relaxed pace. Inhaling, breathing in calm, positive energy. As you exhale, letting go of tension, letting go of stress, letting go of negativity, letting it all wash down out of your body with each exhale. Any thoughts that arise, let them wash down out of your body with the exhale. Any distractions that arise, any sensations in the body, just let them wash away with the exhale. When you're feeling ready, you can start to deepen your inhales. Start to bring your awareness back into the body. Maybe you wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, starting to come back into this shared space. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and rejoin us. All right. Hopefully everyone's feeling nice and relaxed. I know I'm feeling better after that. So tonight's topic is we don't need salvation for our sins. We need healing for our wounds. So as I talk about this, I'm going to hopefully not get too worked up about the church. It's one thing that sometimes gets me a little bit riled up, but I don't want to focus on blame or what's wrong. I just want to I do want to talk about this idea of sin, though. And this idea that there's something wrong with us. And that idea that there is something inherently wrong with us, it's not limited to Christianity. A lot of the major religions have some kind of idea at their core that there's something wrong with us that we need to fix or overcome. But with the relationship of the church and Western culture, it's really that idea of sin, especially this original sin, this idea that there's something inherently flawed with us, something wrong with us that we need help with, that we need forgiveness for. And that idea is really strongly present in all of Western culture. Whether or not you were raised going to a church, whether or not you've ever been in a church, that idea that there's something inherently wrong with us is still deeply ingrained in our psyche in the Western culture. And I'm not trying to blame the church. I'm not trying to place blame or point a finger, but I just want to make everyone aware and realize that underneath all of that, at the core of our psyche, the core of our identity, has been planted this seed that there's something wrong with us. And most of us don't realize because we take it for granted because it's in there so deeply in everything that we learn about ourselves. And this idea that there's something wrong with us it expresses itself in many different ways in different people. For some people, it can be this idea, it can lead to people-pleasing activities where we're always trying to bend ourselves to fit other people's expectations. We're always trying to achieve more, to win praise from our parents or our school teachers or from employers. This idea that we're not enough, or that we're too much, or that we've done something wrong, we're not wanted. And it can also come out in the opposite. Lots of people who are kind of egotistical, or people who seem really overly full in themselves and overly prideful, lots of times the root of that is they're trying to convince themselves that there's not something wrong with them. And it comes out through this overcompensation and trying to, by trying to convince others of how wonderful they are, they're really trying to convince themselves. And so even that seemingly opposite behavior can still be an expression of this idea that there's something deeply wrong with us. And in the church and Christianity, our only hope for dealing with this wrongness of ourselves is by begging for salvation, begging for mercy, begging for forgiveness from God or from a higher power. And it creates this really damaging idea about ourselves, that we're helpless, that we're powerless, that the only thing we can do is pray for forgiveness, pray for salvation. But of course, if we deep down inside we believe we're not worthy of it, then we're never going to receive that salvation, because we don't think we deserve it. And so it just creates this continuous cycle of suffering and feeling we're not worthy and believing we're not worthy. And if we think that our only hope for salvation comes from outside of us, but we're not worthy of it, then we never allow that salvation to come into our lives. But it doesn't have to be like this. We don't have to hold on to these ideas that there's something inherently wrong with us. Sometimes this feels true because we feel a pain deep inside us. We feel a hole, we feel a void in our soul. We feel like there's something missing. We feel like there's something we need. And that's not some kind of an original sin. That's our unresolved childhood core emotional wounds. And so rather than praying to some higher power to save us, we have the power, we have within us, the ability within us to ease our own suffering by giving love to those wounds, those core emotional wounds that make us feel like we're less than, those wounds that make us feel like we're bad, like we're not enough, or that we're too much, or that we're unwanted, or that no matter what, we're just wrong. We ourselves can start to heal those wounds. We can be our own salvation. We can bring the end to our own suffering by healing those wounds, by giving ourselves love, and by coming together in groups like this and giving each other love and telling each other that there's nothing wrong with us. And when we come together in groups like this, we can remind ourselves that we don't have to believe in that ingrained cultural idea that there's something inherently wrong with us. We can remind ourselves that there's nothing wrong with us, that we're just wounded. We just need to love ourselves. We just need to love each other. We just need to start to heal these deep core wounds so that we can feel whole, so that we can feel like there's nothing wrong with us. We can feel like we belong here. We can feel like we deserve to be here. So yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about that. Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything you'd like to add to that idea?
Yeah, I'll chime in. Awesome topic. Thank you so much. And spot on with my therapy that was just a few hours ago. And this shame that's like embedded so deep in our core, learning and also with these inner child meditations that we've been doing. I've been doing that same work with my therapist, and just discovering what different types of shame or brands of shame, if you will, that come from different ages, that were like just different issues to address, and shame over different things. But really it comes back to the same thing. And I have to wonder how much of that was just reiterated by the church. That certainly didn't help, but I feel like it was probably there anyway. But yeah, learning how to love those different versions, and go back and look at where that stems from, and how to heal this wound with love. But awesome topic. Thank you so much.
Great. Hello, Hector. Thanks for joining us. So, anybody else want to comment or that idea about healing our own wounds instead of salvation? All right. Well, let's on that note, then let's meditate. Let's do one of these healing meditations where we give ourselves love. So let's once more close our eyes, settle into our seats, feel our feet connecting us to the earth, feel our hips connecting us to our seat, feel our shoulders above our hips, our head above our shoulders. Let's take a deep, full inhale, breathing in, feeling the ribs expand. Then exhale, letting go of thoughts, letting go of the racing mind, settling into the body. Now, invite you to imagine yourself surrounded by a bubble of shimmering light surrounding your entire bubble or surrounding your entire body. Maybe it's like those bubbles you see when you blew bubbles as a child, shimmering translucent light. So this bubble is surrounding you. And inside this bubble, there is nothing but peace, and quiet, and joy, and happiness, and love. Inside this bubble, there's nothing wrong with you. Inside this space, you are accepted exactly the way you are. You are loved exactly as you are. Now imagine inside this bubble, you can see swirling around light and love. Maybe you see pure white light swirling around, or maybe it's more like a rainbow pastel colors, pinks and purples. Maybe it's a golden light, whatever, however pure goodness and joy and love and happiness, however that looks to you. Imagine you seeing that swirling around you inside this bubble. Now as we inhale, imagine we're breathing this love, this light, breathing it into our chest, filling our torso with love and light and healing. And as you exhale, imagine you're concentrating this love, this energy right in your heart. Maybe if it feels good, you can put your hands over the middle of your chest, right over the heart chakra, the heart space, the heart center. So as we're breathing in, we're inhaling this love from the bubble around us. As we exhale, we're concentrating, funneling this love right into our heart. Inhaling, breathing in love, breathing in light, breathing in happiness and joy and healing. And exhaling, focusing this love, this healing, this happiness right in our heart. And you imagine your heart surrounded by light and love, glowing, surrounded by warmth and compassion and healing. Seeing that this love filling in all the wounds in your heart, all the pain you've suffered. See the love filling in those wounds, filling in the cracks. Continue this breathing on your own for a few minutes. Inhaling, breathing in, filling your chest with love and light. And exhale, focusing this love, this healing right in your heart, healing those deep core emotional wounds in your heart. Continue that on your own for a few minutes. With each exhale, feel your heart filling up with a little more love, a little more light, a little more healing. As we're sitting here in this space of love, this safe space inside our little bubbles where we're accepted and loved exactly as we are. I'm going to read a few questions for you to consider about yourself. So just ask yourself these questions and do it silently inside your head. Do I accept my body exactly as it is? Do I accept my mind exactly as it is? Do I accept my emotions exactly as they are? Do I feel I'm a bad person because of the way I behave? If if you answered no to any of those questions, maybe think back to a time in your life that made you think, made you feel like you couldn't accept one of those parts of yourself. Your mind, your body, your emotions, your behavior. And whatever time comes up, however old you were, whatever was going on in that situation, it's okay. Listen to your instincts. Allow whatever comes up in your mind. However, picture yourself at that age in this situation where you felt like there was some part of yourself you couldn't accept. Allow yourself to see what was going on. Allow yourself to see who was contributing to this unacceptance of yourself. Allow yourself to feel how it made you feel. And then just love yourself. Love that younger version of yourself, experiencing this moment of non-acceptance. Maybe imagine you're hugging yourself, squeezing your younger child tightly, telling them I love you, telling them it's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. As we're sitting here, continue to breathe in that love, continue to see this protective bubble around you, full of love, full of acceptance, full of healing. Just bring all this love, all this healing, all this acceptance, bring it all to your younger self who was wounded. No matter what you did, no matter what you said, no matter what you felt, you didn't deserve to be made to feel like you weren't accepted. You didn't deserve to be made to feel like you were wrong. So as we're sitting here in this bubble of acceptance and love, and also sitting with our younger self, giving love to our younger self, see if you can feel deeper into yourself. underneath that wounded younger child, underneath your mind, underneath your thoughts, deep in the core of your being. See if you can feel love there. Or see love there, see light. Underneath it all, the core of all of us, there's love. Underneath all the pain, underneath all the heartache, deep within us, there's love. If you can remember back to the time before you were first wounded, before the world taught you pain, before it all started, there was just love. Well, maybe from that core of love deep inside you, start to come back up, come back out. And you bring some of that love out to your inner child, stopping in for another visit, another hug, another squeeze, another I love you. Giving love to your inner child. And then coming back to this present moment, bringing this love with us. Closing the door on the past. Closing the door on any wounds, any experiences we revisited. Leave those in the past. Any emotions came up, let's take a deep inhale now. As you exhale, release those emotions back down into the earth. Let's do that again, inhaling deeply. As you exhale, releasing any pain, any emotions down into the earth. Coming back into our bubbles, back into our safe, loving, accepting bubbles. Let's take one more deep, full inhale. As you exhale, Imagine the bubble dissolving. Imagine coming back into this shared space. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and rejoin us. Maybe thank yourself for that healing experience. So how was that? Any comments? Anything? Anyone want to share anything about that?
That was awesome. I appreciate the questions. That was really helpful. So,
Yeah, those are from this book, Radical Acceptance. You see that
oh,
by Tara Brach. That was one of the exercises from this book. Really good book, Radical Acceptance. It's all about, she talks there about the widespread epidemic of unworthiness that we all feel. So
yeah, those questions were super helpful. Thank you.
thank Tara Brach. How about you, Maria or Cynthia? Was that experience helpful at all?
Do I have to raise my hand first?
No, you can just chime in.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I really didn't know how this works, so. Um. Yeah, well, I just was noticing, pain in my body and just really accepting that. Um, and knowing that that pain was coming from, you know, a lot of that unworthiness, that I feel for not, doing enough or for not like making my actions be more purposeful, you know. Feel like I waste a lot of time and I get
Yeah, but who says you're wasting time? That's judgments from society. Always making us feel
I
like
feel like I don't do the time management well. So I was trying to I'm trying to release that.
That's our capitalist society at work, shaming us for relaxing because we're not working and earning money.
yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's internalized capitalism, that feeling that we're never doing enough, that we always need to be doing more. Yeah, I know. It sucks. But yeah, so
I keep a to-do list, and I think that it does really help to like check something off, and it's important to have goals and, to hold yourself accountable for those things for sure, but, without punishing if you don't, be able to negotiate. Well, I didn't do that, but, I did do this instead. So, you know, and then the next day just kind of start over again and just keep forgiving yourself, for the pressure, the expectation.
Yeah. Good session, good questions. I have to leave Matt tonight, but thank you.
okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
feel better.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, healing vibes, girl. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I totally relate with that, Cynthia, as far as like feeling bad and beating myself up for these lists that I make, because I work for myself. And so it's like I set these goals and expectations. And my therapist has helped me with this, and it makes so much sense, but it's like, who's making this to-do list? I am. So like punishing myself for things I'm putting out there myself is it's like it's a sucky cycle to be in, but I completely understand that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm glad you spoke up about that.
Well, most of my to-do list right now is just getting ready to leave the country for a month. So travel around the Yucatan Peninsula and connect with the earth and the people and the food and get in the ocean. And so I'm leaving on Monday. So my to-do list is, I figure, at the end I'll get everything packed that I need. So, but I need to make sure that, I have enough supplies for